What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you live up early in the morning, 7:25 a.m. Doing nothing right now. Well, I'm out, but I'm not doing nothing too major. So might as well go live, discuss the breaking news I woke up to this morning. Russell Wilson signs a 1-year veteran minimum. Excuse me, is early. Deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. My biggest takeaways from this is, as an Atlanta Falcons fan, I'm nervous, I'm scared. Russell Wilson, I can't even talk. Russell Wilson was my backup plan for Kirk Cousins. As we all know, well, as I've been saying for a while, no Justin Fields, no young quarterbacks. Go for Kirk Cousins, go for Russell Wilson. Obviously, Wilson is off the board now. We have to pound the table on on Kirk Cousins. Whatever he wants, whatever he needs, we got to give it to him because we need to make sure we get Kirk Cousins now. No question about it. Russell Wilson was my backup plan. I didn't think the Steelers were that serious about getting Russell Wilson. I really didn't think so. I saw when they met, heard about it, read about it, cool, didn't think much of it. And to think they signed him so quick was like, man, so I was shocked there, I'm not going to lie. But I do like the fit. So that's my first takeaway as a Falcons fan is I'm scared for us. We got to get Kirk Cousins. Now, my second thing, which involves the Steelers, my second takeaway is Kenny Pickett has to step up. He has to, or it's over, at least for the Steelers. This was an indictment move on him. He's not ready. He's not playing well, which we all know. He ended up losing his job last year, the end of the season, to Mason Rudolph. So those are my biggest takeaways here. As a Falcons fan, Kirk Cousins, we need to get him. Russell Wilson as our backup plan is now gone. And the Steelers will most likely be drafting a quarterback first round in the 2025 draft, most likely. That's my biggest takeaways here. But it's not over for Kenny Pickett yet. Russell Wilson definitely has the lead for the Steelers job, in my opinion, but it's not set in stone. I do believe that Kenny Pickett can overtake Russell Wilson in training camp, but he got to come locked in. He has to come ready, has to come locked in, has to come focused, because if not, obviously Russell will be starting. And even if Russell does start, Pickett does have a chance to overtake him throughout the season. Russell hasn't had a history of playing well, great the last couple of years anyway, so it's not like it's end-all, be-all if Russell does start. But it's a bad look. Old man Russell, who hasn't cooked in a long time, he beats out a young Kenny Pickett going to his third or fourth year now for Pickett. So Pickett, no, in all intents and purposes, should beat out Russell Wilson, but we'll definitely see. But I wish the best for Kenny Pickett, man. I really like him a lot coming out of the draft a couple years ago. I didn't think he was the best fit for Pittsburgh. I was more of a Sam Howell, Malik Wilson guy. I'm not Malik Wilson. Malik, what's his name? Malik, whatever his name is, from Liberty a couple years ago. But I was more of a Sam Howell guy. I like Sam Howell. Sam Howell was my dark horse for the Steelers during that draft. Ended up not happening, ended up going with Pickett. But I am a fan of Pickett, so I want to see him do well. But he just couldn't get it going. And it's plain and simple. But it's not over yet. He does have a chance to right his wrongs, to right the ship, and to fix whatever was ailing him the last couple of years, because Russell hasn't been playing great. It's not like he's that better than Kenny Pickett. And in Arthur Smith's system, as a Falcons fan, both those guys fit. It's not like just one does and one doesn't. Both of those guys fit what Arthur Smith want to do. So it's not nothing crazy that you can see either one starting. It just depends on who is literally the best option. And I think, as I said earlier, the early betting favorites probably Russell Wilson, but Pickett, if he can come locked in, come focused, come ready, there's a good chance that he can come and Russell Wilson. So that's my take on that there. I'm happy the Steelers didn't get Justin Fields. I've been saying for the longest. I did a video December 30th, I think, December 23rd, December 30th, somewhere around that time frame. And I mentioned Fields as a possible landing spot for the Steelers, but then I thought about it. That was the last time I ever mentioned in that video, the last time I ever mentioned Fields going to the Steelers. I thought about it a lot more then. There's no way in the world, if I'm Mike Tomlin, I would have went after Justin Fields. I think it was a thought, because the rumor was Mike Tomlin really liked Justin Fields, but I never understood it, because if you brought in Justin Fields, you would have then had two young, struggling quarterbacks. So it never made sense to me to get Fields after that video I did in December. I was more on Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill, maybe a Sam Howell. He doesn't have the stigma of a failed quarterback like Fields, like Pickett, so it's a little different. But I would like Howell, the kind of the different style of quarterback to battle with Pickett. But I'm not mad at getting Russell Wilson. It does make sense. He, as I said, as of right now, he's probably the betting favorite to land the starting job. And he's been playing better. Even last year, Russ wasn't great, but Russ takes care of the ball more. He's more accurate. He pushes the ball more downfield than Kenny Pickett. So, everything leads you to say right now that Russell is the guy for the job. But, it's never too late to change. Kenny Pickett, something could snap on him. Something could, just click and everything start flowing on all cylinders, because Kenny Pickett can ball. We've seen it in Pitt. He can ball. He has had flashes. And I keep going back to this. I really, really enjoyed Kenny Pickett preseason last year. I just don't know how he couldn't translate it over to the regular season last season. I was really big on Kenny Pickett and really big on the backup running back behind Najee Harris. What's his name? Warren or something like that. I was really big on both of those two guys. And, the back, no, it's not Warren. It is Warren, I think, whatever his name is. But he ended up showing out and did a pretty good showing this season for the Steelers. But Pickett, for the preseason, he was carving teams up. He looked good, looked sharp, looked accurate, looked like the playbook was his. He knew it from start to finish. But then when the regular season came, Pickett just didn't bring over the preseason hype and also the play, not hype, the overall play. He didn't look as sharp as he did during the preseason last year, throughout the regular season. So that's what really, turned me off from Pickett. But he was a year two guy. Year three, could it be different? Maybe, but I'm really thinking that most likely he loses his job out to Russell. But it's a chance. It is a chance, a slim chance, that he can zone in, tap into some untapped potential and really ball like he should, because I really had hope in him from last preseason. But it just didn't turn out end up happening in the regular season. Maybe under Arthur Smith's new scheme, maybe Pickett can come together, and make things work out for him and be more simple for him maybe. But he has the weapons. It's not really that much of an excuse for Pickett like some other young quarterbacks. He has the weapons. Top-tier talent, in my opinion, George Pickens. Very good talent in Deontay Johnson. Running backs are cool. Warren and Harris are cool, but nothing crazy. O-line is decent, but he has the weapons to get it done. He has the defense to get it done. He just been him, and I think the offensive scheme the last couple of years really been the worst parts of the offense, and that's the worst part when your quarterback isn't really hitting on all cylinders. So the talent is there. Then maybe they bring in some more guys. I believe if they haven't already, I think they will cut Allen Robinson. I think they have, though. He saves about $10+ million. So if they have or haven't, I think that will happen. And then they'll probably bring some more offensive firepower in. Calvin Austin's there as well, but maybe another bigger physical threat option to take the place of Allen Robinson makes sense as well. They need to address the offensive line. They lost Okafor, I believe. I forgot what team signed him, but the rumor is they're going to go after Mims or someone, Guyton or Mims in the first round this year's draft. So that wouldn't be bad there. So we'll definitely see. We'll definitely see how the Steelers can turn it around, but they're a pretty good team still, as we all know. The defense really runs on T.J. Watt. Maybe if they can get a guy like Snead to pair with Joey Porter, they don't really have to rely on Watt so much, because as we all know, when Watt get injured, the whole defensive dynamic changes. He's the guy that brings the pressure. He's the guy that helps Alex Highsmith get the assist and all that stuff. So, pushes them over to the other side, and Highsmith cleans it up, or vice versa. So he's the guy that really makes the whole ship run. But if you can get maybe another corner, maybe it takes more, Snead, Joy Porter, mix it in with a safety like Minka Fitzpatrick. Maybe that can help alleviate some pressure off of having TJ Watt to do so much, and maybe the cornerbacks can play more locked down and more coverage sacks than actually having Watt and Highsmith really, having to create on their own without any coverage. Because I've been saying this for years as a non-Steelers fan. They need to get better in their DB room. They need to get better, need to get younger. And so I'm glad they cut Pat Peterson, like him. I grew up as a fan, a young man watching Peterson, but they need an influx of new talent, some new youth. And they don't really have any young DBs that really look like anything but Porter Jr. Nothing against nobody else, but he's the real gem of that young DB group. No one else as year one, year two guy really looks like anything. So, no, at least nothing special, I should say. So, pairing maybe a Snead with Porter, or, someone else, Steven Nelson maybe, who's a free agent. Please don't hit my car, big truck. Why are you going so close to me for? But he's real close for no reason. All the space in the world. But yeah, it threw me all the way off. But I've been saying for years, though, that they need an influx of new talent in the DB room. So maybe they go ball in for Snead. That's right. My fault. Thank you very much. Jalen Warren, yep. And they could be a Super Bowl contender if everything goes. I agree. They definitely could be. Alex. They could definitely be a Super Bowl contender if everything goes right. I'm not mad at that. First things first, though, they need TJ Watt to stay healthy. He has to stay healthy. Why are people so close to my car? What is going on? I'm parked way in the corner. But if they get TJ Watt to stay healthy, Alex, for sure, a full season, you need to rest him here and there. Just do that. Just make sure he's healthy towards playoff time, because they can't never seem to have him full go. And I know NFL is a physical game, all that stuff, but he needs to stay in the hyperbolic time chamber for the full season. Don't leave until game time. No practice, nothing. Just let him stretch. Make sure he's flexible and everything and ready to go. But I agree, Alex. They could definitely be a Super Bowl contender if everything pans out. Obviously, it's going to be tough, with the Chiefs bringing back Chris Jones and other teams looking to get better in free agency. But if everything goes right, bring in some more offensive talent for Russell Wilson and Mike Tomlin and Arthur Smith's offense, definitely could. It definitely could. I definitely agree. I would love for him to get Snead, though. And a lot of Chiefs fans been down on me saying the Deontay Johnson Snead flip doesn't make sense. I think it makes all sense in the world. Deontay Johnson, who wants out, the Chiefs need a receiver. He's on a 1-year deal. I think pays about $15 to $18 million. Snead's on a franchise tag for $19.5 million. He wants about $20 million in free agents, or for a new contract for an extension. I think the Steelers would pay that. It makes sense to me. Flip Deontay Johnson for L'Jarius Snead. Obviously, you got to give up a pick or two, maybe round 4, round 5 to pair with Johnson to get Snead. I think that makes sense. And then there's so much firepower in this NFL draft. I think you can get someone to replace him pretty easily. And not to say Johnson is easy to replace, but he hasn't really had that much of an impact last couple of years anyway. If you can get Russell Wilson clicking with Pickens, I think you can get someone else, maybe Keelan Coleman, Tez Walker, someone like that, second, third round. You don't got to go too expensive, not too high in the first round and get someone. You can wait second, third round and get someone that's pretty explosive, that's pretty good to pair with a guy like Pickens. So I think it's possible. Man. You can flip Johnson for Snead. If not, you have guys in free agency like Steven Nelson who could do something I like a lot. So he's probably the best corner. Gilmore maybe, but he's older as well. I wouldn't really mess with him if I'm the Steelers. I see the Steelers have rumors on them getting the former Bills quarterback, Tre'Davious White. Not really a fan of it. He's more of the Pat Pete kind of me, older, battled injuries the last couple years, Achilles, the real bad Achilles injury a couple years ago. I'm not really with it. I'm not against it either, but he hasn't really shown to be healthy and really go back to form yet. So we'll see. We'll see. But I got to get going, guys. Got to go back in, handle some business. But I might hop on back on live later. Might do a full video or react to some news coming soon. But check the channel, guys. I've been doing prediction videos. If you haven't seen some shorts, some videos last couple weeks. So today's the day. Most of these moves will be happening today. Probably Chris Wilkins coming today. Him signing. I didn't do a video on Chris Wilkins though, but I think probably the Raiders or the Texans. Armstead got released last night or early this morning. We'll see where he goes. Maybe he goes to Houston. Wilkins goes to the Raiders. Who will the Niners get? Danielle Hunter, DJ Jones from the Broncos if he's released. So we'll see. It's going to be a nice day, a fun day. I'll do some reactions and some long-term and some long-form videos as well if some call for it. But that's it for the video, guys. I will see you guys next time.